It has been pouring the last 2 weeks. We had a lot of rain. Yeah, the family was there. It was really, really cool. They left, except for my oldest son, yesterday, and we're gonna go back home as well tomorrow. So we're in the process of like cleaning up the last bits and pieces. We got a long way with the terrace. It's finished. I'm gonna show you in a minute. But today we gotta do something about the pool. As you can see, we had a storm with the rain, so a lot of leaves came down, and we're gonna clean this up. And actually, this cover has been ripped open by the storm, so we're gonna see if we can still use it or not. So that's a little project for this morning. So as for the terrace, we finished the last episode with finishing the construction, and then, well, it started raining, and then we saw that basically we have a problem because where we built the terrace and where we put the slabs of concrete, water gets stuck and then it can't go anywhere, so it stays there, and we're afraid that it will put a lot of moisture into this wall. So the first thing we did was, before closing the terrace, we tried to work on the terrain and make it so that all the water can be drained. And what we have now is that we have like in front of the terrace we basically have like a drench, so you can see it here, where the water can run around the terrace and then into the area where it's a little bit lower and away from the house. So that was a little bit of extra work we had to do before we could start covering the terrace. Yeah, and then we did that, and that was a lot of fun. We had some friends helping, and you can really see the progress in these pictures. And that it was pretty straightforward, except for a couple of things. So one is, as you can see here, we have these two trees with the hammock, but that also meant making a construction that can hold the wood around the tree, and then also cutting each board individually. It was kind of a fun project as well. So the next step was to get the edges nice and straight, and instead of trying to get every board to fit perfectly, at the end I just took a saw and ran it across the whole length. I did this first by putting a board up and running the saw against this board, but actually this wasn't such a good option because the saw got stuck quite a lot, and instead I did it differently later. I took a laser and then used the track saw with the track, so that was a lot better and easier to do. The terrace was finished. I did some extra work on the kind of roof construction and make it look nicer. These boards and these nails that I'm putting in here, they don't really support the structure so much more. It doesn't really need it, but it just looks so much nicer and just more in line with the kind of traditional work you see in the area. So once I had done these finishes, I realized that the whole thing looks really ugly still because of the old winter garden, and we want to take it down. But for the time being, I decided to just put some wood around it, and it took a day, but the impression it makes is just so much better. And yeah, that was kind of a little fun project to do as well. And then a friend of mine who was there as well, he painted the window frame, and this way the whole area looks much, much nicer now. And then the last thing we did was to put up a large sail that protects the wall and the door at that spot from the kitchen against rain, and also makes it possible to sit out there while it's raining. Yeah, and that's the terrace, and it's finished, and I'm going to show you a couple of drone shots here of what the whole place looks like now. So you can now walk like the northern side of the wall. I think I'm gonna try to clean the wall a little bit as well on the next visit. And we still need to do something around these large openings. But yeah, it's fantastic with a view over the landscape. And from up here, you can really see that the new part with the terrace already looks so much nicer than the old part with the winter garden and the shed next to it. So in the future we want this terrace to continue around the house on this western side. But yeah, that's a project for another year, I guess. For now we're just really happy with having this space where you can sit in the evening, especially when the sun sets. And yeah, also in the morning, in summer, the northern side of the house gets a little bit of sun in the early morning. That's also quite cool to sit there. A little thing that I still want to do is, if you walk from this terrace towards the pool, then I want to make a little path that is also made up of wood that leads to the pool, so that you can kind of walk from and to the pool without getting your feet dirty. That would also make it much nicer in the house, I think. And yeah, that's basically it from the terrace build.
Pardonnez, mais de moi à vous, cela ne vaut pas mieux qu'une laisse. Vivre d'empoigne et de crasse, tout pour sortir de l'impasse. Le rêve n'efface pas le doute, corps et âme, coûte que coûte. Ô toi, force qui me précède, toi, la muse de mes sentiments, celle qui réchauffe mon sang.
So that was basically the video, but I wanted to just say thank you for everyone who commented on the last video. I haven't done a video in a while, and then when you upload, you don't know if anybody's gonna watch it. And then it was like a lot of people said, "Hey, we've been missing the videos and so on." So that was really, really nice. And yeah, thanks for that. I hope to do the next video in a couple of weeks when I'm back here. It's my last night at the beach, and yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful sunset kind of. Mountains of Spain are back there, and yeah, with that view, I'm gonna say bye bye, and see you in a couple of weeks. Have a good time, be kind.